My name is Vicky Sylvester and I will be your host for the next hour. And this is your opportunity to hear directly from the companies in the group, learn a bit more about the new companies that have joined since the last call, and also your chance to ask any questions from the business leaders within MBH. And hopefully we will answer as many as we can within the next hour. Since our last event in June, we've had 4 new companies join the group, so do look out for those. We've had Learning Wings join us over in Singapore. We've had GS Contracts join Geisha as their first tactical acquisition into the construction vertical over here in the UK. ADT Taxis joined us as we moved out of the summer over here in the UK. And then over in the US, our first US companies joined us, Meeting of the Minds and Reality Property Services, headed up by Melissa Shea. So without further ado, the principals have all put together some presentations for you. We'll give you a little bit of insight into the companies. And we asked the principals what's been a key learning for them during COVID. Following that, if you want to post any questions into the question and answer chat box, and then we will follow up after the presentations and hopefully get through as many as we can. So without further ado, I shall share my screen and play the principals' presentations. Enjoy.
Hello everybody, I'm Alan Presland from Parenta. Parenta joined MBH pre-IPO in April 2018, a strategic acquisition. And we're a business with a turnover of about 5 million, EBITDA of just under 1 million. We work within the education vertical, and we're significant suppliers to the childcare sector, being the largest provider of vocational training within England to that sector, and also the largest provider of nursery management software. In terms of the impact of COVID, inevitably our revenue reduced slightly during lockdown, but the positive of that is that we were able to adjust our costs accordingly. However, the pandemic has forced us to re-examine our delivery models, and as a consequence, we've identified mechanisms to deliver our service at a significantly reduced cost, and hence we expect the medium and long-term results to be very positive indeed. Added to that, as we've pulled out of lockdown, September 2020 looks like it's going to be one of the best months we've ever had, one of the best sales months, and as a consequence, we're cautiously optimistic about our prospects going forward. Inevitably, we don't know what will happen, if there might be another lockdown, but assuming there isn't, then I think there's a lot of optimism. And so I think our biggest learning from the pandemic is really about constantly re-examining our assumptions and really validating that they continue to be correct. Thank you very much.
I am the principal and founder of Cape Limited. Cape was set up in 2005, early 2005, in Auckland, New Zealand, as a commercial and retail fit-out contractor. The retail and commercial fit-out formed 90% of our business until the GFC. When that market tightened up, we diversified and started doing commercial refurbishments and seismic upgrades following the Christchurch earthquake. We've done projects nationwide, North and South Island, as well as 2 hotel refurbishments in Fiji. We've also set up a maintenance division which services our clients' needs once we've handed projects over to them. We currently have 28 full-time staff, and last year we had a turnover of 50 million New Zealand dollars. We've got quite a large, well-established client base. We tend to get quite a lot of repeat business from clients, and we've been established in the Auckland market quite a while now. We joined MBH very early on in the piece as one of the founder companies. We believed there would be synergy with similar businesses in New Zealand and Australia and the Pacific Basin that we could piggyback off. We also saw it as an opportunity to grow and develop Cape as a business and to get some large company backing and access to funds for bonds and for funding larger projects. We've also believe it's a good way to get our staff involved, and we have a scheme whereby we issue MBH shares to our staff on an annual basis.
Hi, my name's Vicky Sylvester and I'm the principal over at Acacia Training. Acacia Training joined in 2018 as a strategic acquisition into the group. We've been around since 2000 and we deliver UK-based education, or UK at the moment. Our turnover for 2019 was £5 million and our EBIT was 603,000. And our business has been focusing on organic growth and tactical acquisitions, which we have continued to do and are still continuing to do as we move out of 2020 and into 2021. In terms of a key learning during COVID, I mean, there's loads you could choose from. I feel personally the strength of the MBH model, the agglomeration, the collaborative working, the pulling together was really demonstrated during this time and really tested. So it proved to be invaluable through this, and the sheer brilliance of entrepreneurs. Clearly we love challenge. We love chaos because it has absolutely shone through how incredible everybody has been in the group during this period of time. And we're all looking forward to the end of this year, going into next year, and the opportunities that will be created. Thank you for listening.
Hi everyone, my name is Gauri Lam. I'm the principal for Dubule contracts on MBH. We are known for fit out and highest quality fit out and innovative design to inspire people and their surrounding in the construction industry. The company was founded in 1978 and has an enviable reputation in the field of fitting out and hospitality process. The offices are based in Wandsworth in Clapham. The whole journey started with projects with Oddbins, Pizza Expresses, Jamie's Italians. In fact, I think almost 80% of Jamie Oliver's restaurants in the future were fitted out by the team as well. And so, yes, there is that strong background in leisure and hotel, as mentioned earlier. Fortnum & Mason is one of our biggest clients. This is a project which the team delivered in Royal Exchange, which is a listed building. So the project was very difficult to attain, but as you can see, is one of the most Instagrammable sites in London, as I'm told. These are some other projects which have been achieved quite recently. The team work within UK as well as abroad. So there is a mixture of projects here. We have got St. James's Market, Marylebone Hotel, where the team are still active. In fact, they're handing over phase 5 right now. The team have been based there for last 2.5 to 3 years. Projects in Soho, even in the Alps. The client list includes a lot of big names, a lot of blue chip companies. As you can see, we recently handed over a couple of projects in Harrods earlier part of this year before the lockdown. Peggy Portion, again, one of the most Instagrammable projects. We work with Selfridges, La Pacotidion, Jamie Italian, Kiss the Hippo, Godiva, a lot of big names from the leisure and hotel industry. So the journey with MBH has been, we joined in December 2018. We were one of the first acquisitions by MBH after it opened the doors, as it were. We were, as mentioned earlier, founded in 1978, but we were established as a company in 1985. The turnover is circa 10 million, which has been reported, EBIT and EBITDA 250k for December 2019. Based in London. Why did we join MBH? I mean, on the multitude of reasons why it has been an amazing journey with MBH, the top ones which we can think of are, it gives us a growth platform. there is all the companies hit a glass ceiling at some point in time where you're too small to go for the bigger contracts, but you're too good for the small contracts you do, albeit these are not so small contracts. However, it gives us a great growth platform, access to resources and buying power and tendering opportunities, working with like-minded individuals who give you ideas as well. Risk reduction for the business because there's strength in numbers, and obviously that is clear from the value of the balance sheet and the weight it carries. And then, as mentioned earlier as well, collaboration with like-minded businesses, and that is very key for today's world, certainly when so many things are changing every minute. It has been a great journey to be able to bounce ideas, to share ideas, to have new perspectives, get updates from different industries and how we can collaborate with them as well. So all in all, it has been a great journey. Thank you for listening. Any questions, please let us know.
Hi everyone, my name is Kevin Potter. I'm the CEO and founder of Gilprime Specialist Contracts Limited. Gilprime are a high-end construction company based in the UK, working across Europe in the retail, prime residential, hospitality, sporting venues and private healthcare sectors. I'm very proud to say this month is our 35th anniversary. We joined MBH in March 2019 to help us continue our growth plans for the next 35 years. Now this year, due to COVID, has been an unprecedented period for any company. I believe we'll continue to grow as planned through these very difficult times, and I continue to see a very positive pipeline of new projects coming through. It is indeed a testament to our fantastic team that we're able to carry on safely working through the height of the pandemic, using a variety of imaginative techniques and new procedures, and the fast introduction of amazing new software. It's wonderful to be able to share all of this knowledge and experience with the MBH family. We're all very much looking forward to a very busy and productive future. Thank you all for listening.
Hi, this is Ian Elsie. I'm the original founder and CEO of Geisha Limited. Geisha are a construction company that service the residential, commercial and industrial property portfolios in and around central London. Being part of MBH has allowed Geisha to exercise its growth strategy, and our first acquisition of GS contracts was completed this year in July. Now, COVID has caused the global economy to slow down, and that has confirmed the need to be lean and agile, and that's something that I will continually ensure is carried out throughout Geisha and its partnerships. We're looking forward to an exciting journey with our acquisition partners and the further synergies and support of the fellow forward-thinking entrepreneurs that make up MBH. Thank you very much.
Hi there, my name's Ben Tomlin and I'm the Managing Director of UK Sports Training Limited. We were established in June 2012 and joined MBH in October 2019 as a tactical acquisition. Our last full year's audited accounts showed a turnover of 328k with an EBITDA of 59k. We deliver personal training and sports massage qualifications to help learners gain both employed and self-employed work. We've had to adapt and learn quite quickly during the pandemic by offering more home study options to our learners, with e-learning and webinars replacing classroom input. This delivery method has allowed us to market towards learners nationally, whereas before our courses were more regional due to the requirements of more face-to-face days, and these would previously take place near our HQ in Essex, but now we have learners across all the major cities in the UK. This delivery method gives the learners a good insight into modern day personal training, which is frequently being delivered online now, so our learners are not reliant on being in the gym for work, which gives them contingency in case of any more lockdowns. Thank you very much for listening.
Hi, my name's Kieran Smythe. I'm the Managing Director of KS Training, and I've put together a short video with a few slides to give you an introduction into KS Training and how we became part of the MBH group. I hope you enjoy it. So KS Training came into the MBH group in late October 2019. We're based in Birmingham, And historically, we've been strong in the West and East Midlands. Our turnover is 437k, EBIT 36k, and our core market is apprenticeships and accredited qualifications to the care sector. So we joined MBH because we felt that it gave us access to people and managers and staff who had got a level of experience and intelligence that, you know, we couldn't go out and buy that. So we really felt that that was a key driver in moving forwards with MBH, and that would make a massive difference to KS training in terms of our ability to grow and develop the company. And our future plans are to grow the north and the south of England into strong business units, territories around the apprenticeship model in health and social care, and also look at some other sectors such as IT, for example. Thank you very much.
My name's Vicky Smith and I'm the Principal Care Manager of Samuel Hobson House. Samuel Hobson House is a 39-bedded residential home in Staffordshire. The home has been open now for 11 years and supports people over the age of 65. The key learnings from COVID for our business is trying to be one step ahead of the guidance and also ensuring infection control measures are embedded within the staff team in order to keep COVID out. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Paul Seabridge and I'm the CEO of Robinson's Caravans Limited. We're the oldest caravan and motorhome retail business in the UK, having been established since the 1960s. So we joined MBH in March 2020 to launch the new leisure vertical, and it's our goal to dominate this space by using MBH as a platform to acquire other operators. 2019, we had 19 million of revenue and adjusted EBIT of 800k. So COVID has had an impact on our business for sure, being on lockdown during the busiest months of the season. That said, it's forced us to look at our business long and hard, and we've adapted our processes to make ourselves more efficient, more productive, and I believe we've emerged stronger for it. So working with like-minded entrepreneurs in MBH meant that we faced and solved those challenges together. The demand now is very strong and I believe is driven by the travel restrictions, perhaps people preferring to holiday in their own environment. And this has led us to have more conversations with our competitors about joining MBH and them too benefiting from working in this more collaborative way.
Hello, my name's Diane Woodall and I'm the Managing Director at Logistica Training. Logistica is predominantly a health and social care training provider. However, during COVID, we have adapted as a company and we're now servicing the hospitality, retail and business sectors. On the screen now are a selection of our courses that we deliver to employers on a national geographical basis. My personal favourite is the first one, the Creative Activity course. These courses can be delivered traditionally face-to-face or remotely online. Logistica was formed in May 2017 at my dining room table, so it's very close to my heart. We deliver high quality and high volume training using the skills support for the workforce funding. COVID and the future plans for Logistica, well, it has had an impact and it's forced us to look at other occupational areas and adapt our style of delivery. However, this has also made us stronger as a business, and together, being part of MBH, we're now exploring other funding streams. We've secured contracts until July 2021. However, with the world ever changing, we're now exploring and piloting working with the unemployed. Thank you for listening, everybody. Bye.
Hi everybody, my name is Gabriel from Learning Wings. Learning Wings joined MBH in July 2020 as a technical acquisition. We are based here in Singapore. Our turnover is 800k Sing, which equates to about 450k British pounds. Our EBIT is about 180k Sing, which is about 100k British pounds. We are in the education sector. We provide enrichment classes as well as trainers to schools and non-profit organizations. Our target audience is about 5 to 12 years old. B2B. Why do we join MBH and what are our future plans? We joined MBH to be part of a PLC, a growing platform so that we are able to grow through M&A, which previously we would not be able to. Learning points from COVID, there are many. But the biggest learning point was to change from just survival mode to growth mode. So you see, all our classes are physical classes, and we managed to pivot and change all of that to online classes, which was a tall order for us because we've got many classes going on a week and many trainers to train. But having done that was a proof of concept for us, which opened to another business opportunity. Although I've been thinking about this for quite a few years, but this was the proof of concept for us because many parents in Singapore, I feel, prefer physical classes. But now I know they also accept online. So this leads on to our future plans. We're going to grow in two prongs. One is organically through our online classes. So for the next few months, I have upgraded myself in terms of marketing, and we are also going to set the foundation right for in terms of our sales processes, our back end and support processes, our IT, all the required blocks so that we are in time for our enrollment for next year. This is one. And the second is to grow through M&A. So we want to grow our EBIT as well as collectively as a whole so that we grow in strength together with our peers from MBH. Thank you.
My name is Gary Smith, the founder of GS Contracts, established as a company in 1992. We joined MBH in July this year through Geisha. Our geographic location, we are based in Colchester, Essex, in the east of England. Our projected turnover for the year is 5 million. Type of business and services delivered. Our services are summarised as a specialist interior fit out and bespoke manufacturing contractor. Our focus is very much about client partnership, delivering real trust and collaboration to their end goal. One of my core values is to be contractor of choice in this industry. Why have you joined MBH? With the interest expressed by Geisha in GS and their own existing journey and experience so far in MBH, I could see the benefits of strength and support and collaboration on an opportunity to grow. Our future plans, through Ian and Geisha, I'm learning of the opportunities in development, how to grow by acquisition, which in turn will bring growth to the group.
Hi, my name's David Hunter and I'm the principal from ADT Taxis. So we joined MBH in August of this year, 2020, and we're very excited to be here. We're a taxi firm in Leicestershire. So we were introduced to MBH by Paul Seabridge. So let me just bring up some slides now. So if I just press this button. Right, so there's our first slide. That's myself there, just outside our Loughborough University office, where we have based 5,000 students in the nightclub there. So our journey began, we started in 2002 in Leicestershire with 4 vehicles and a radio and pen. We now cover a present day 936,000 bookings. We run at 70% automation. We use apps and webs to use automation, and that goes out for automatic dispatch. We have contracts for the NHS and blue chip companies, as well as usual school runs, based at Loughborough University, but we also have offices in Leicester City Centre and the suburbs around. We developed our own apps, something called Ride, and also in COVID, we developed a Uber Eats type app called Eat Me, for food outlets such as Pizza Hut and Subway and local suppliers. Our current accounts, which we filed up to the end of May, will show EBIT of £665,000 and 40 pence. So why did we join MBH?
Well, really, we looked at various options for expansion to assist us with expansion and investment. But we liked MBH because it gives a platform for growth. Obviously, a lot of collaborative working with experienced entrepreneurs, such as you guys watching or listening to this, with access to resources and knowledge. But we like the fact that we operationally we retain it, because obviously we feel we're the experts in the field, and maybe if we brought in somebody else, they wouldn't quite know how the industry worked, and it is a huge industry. So our future plans, obviously, the taxi industry is changing. So we've got driverless cars coming, although we don't think the infrastructure will be ready for another 10 to 15 years yet. How motor manufacturers sell their vehicles will change, because obviously more people will use the apps or mobility services to hail a cab or to ride share. So manufacturers themselves are now investing in this industry. The future plans, it's a £9 billion market and growing. That's here in the UK, and that's growing. We've been growing and continue to grow organically through automation, profiting, but we don't need as many people answering the phones as we used to, so that increases the EBIT. And of course, we're actively seeking tactical acquisitions and mergers with other groups and networks. We're trying to build our own network. Hence, a lot of taxi companies here in the UK are very profitable, unlike our American disruptors. And so we're trying to acquire those taxi companies and hubs in cities around the UK, such as Birmingham, Norwich, Cambridge, etc. These hubs eventually will piece together, and I know John and myself are out there doing this at the moment. We'll piece the network together and then rebrand it as Take Me. Hence the logo at the top, which will be a national brand, a bit like Uber. Everyone knows Uber. They get off the train, first thing they sign on to is Uber. They might not know ADT is local to Leicester, or XYZ taxi company is local to Birmingham. So by having a network, we can ride off the back of that. We'll also build an aggregating platform, so huge blue chips now can use our network to book through, and the GPS will send it to the local taxi company, which will be part of the Take Me network. So the Take Me will become an app that owns their own fleets, backed by the power of MBH within the private hire industry. So you can see the brand there, Take Me, which will be launched in possibly about a year's time once we've built the network. Okay, so that was the slides. So ADT is fully cloud-based, and we've been cloud-based now for 5 years, which has obviously helped through COVID, using home workers. Our call center is actually based in Pakistan. So quite happy later on to answer any questions, or you can contact me through Slack or anything. Quite happy if you just want to know more. So there you go. That was my first video, and I hope it turned out okay, and I managed to explain everything to you. But please do get in touch if you've got any further questions. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Melissa Jeanette Shea. I'm the CEO of Meeting of the Minds Inc. and Everyday Realty Services. We are an integrated real estate investment company. I joined MBH as a strategic principal on September 1st, 2020. Both of the companies are located in the US. If you're wondering why we did them as two separate companies, that's mainly because there are licensing laws with two of the companies. So Everyday Realty Services and Meeting of the Minds is an integrated company that has networking events. That's the RIA, Real Estate Investors Association. And then we have an educational and mentoring program for how to become a real estate investor. On the licensing side, we have an exit franchise. That's Exit Realty Everyday. And then we have Everyday Funding that does commercial notes and mortgages. Why I joined MBH. I joined MBH as a strategic partner because I wanted to, I was tired of that ceiling. I wanted more growth, and it just felt like I was trapped. I love the collaboration. I'd love to meet all you guys in person. I came on the platform with approximately 630 US dollar EBIT. I'm learning. I would love to grow in the future plans with MBH as helping other onboarding US companies get on, especially because our tax laws are so complicated and strenuous. So I might be able to help some navigate there. I'd like to use the tactical strategy to mentor more businesses on the platform or merge into our company. I want to reach 10 million EBIT in 5 years using that strategy. So that's all I have from here across the pond. Thank you.
So thank you to all the principals for their fabulous videos. And one key learning for me from COVID is don't press too many buttons on Zoom because it crashes your video, particularly when you're in live events. So thank you for everybody's patience on that front. So I just wanted to let you know from Paul Seabridge from Robinson's Caravans, he couldn't actually make it today to be on the call, but he did want me to pass on a little bit about how Robinson's is getting on at the moment. I'm sure you've all noticed there's more caravans on the road, so I think that's a pretty good idea as to how Robinson's is doing. But yeah, they are seeing an increase in demand, so we just wanted to share that with you, that everything's doing well. So well done to Team Robinson's over there. One of the questions that has come through, I'm quite happy to take that one, which asks about how do we share best practices throughout the group. And well, we do that through a number of different ways. We meet regularly, and actually during COVID we were meeting weekly, pulling together as a team, sharing knowledge, intel, experience through that way. But generally we meet about once a month. We have internal channels that we share information on, have conversations. We have quarterly events where we get together specifically to share practice and network. And also on the side of that, there's individual projects going on. You'll find that people in the group are all working collaboratively in different ways on side projects, particularly in individual verticals. So hopefully that's answered that, but if I haven't, please feel free to ask anything else. So I had a few questions that came through before the event. So I'm going to move to you first, Alan. So last time we were on the call, nurseries in the UK were on lockdown. So how have things progressed for you over the last quarter?
Yeah, great question. So most of the nurseries in the UK are now open, and there was a little bit of a delay, sort of July, August, but September has just been fantastic. In fact, it's probably been one of our best sales months ever. So the sector's picked back up and very, very, very strong going forward.
Sounds fantastic. So how are the team over at Parenta? Have you got them office space? Have you got them home based at the moment?
No, it's really one of the interesting things from COVID. We had about 60% of our team who were home based. All of our tutors were home based, and all of the remaining staff were based in an office. But we shut the office down within 4 days before lockdown occurred, and sort of found a massive productivity gain in doing so. And we then surveyed the staff and asked them what their views were about going back, and it was very, very clear that nobody wants to work back in an office environment. So the office will remain closed. But the savings of that are just huge. You've not only got rent, you've got rates, you've got cleaning, you've got all the facilities within the office, photocopiers and water coolers and water heaters. All of those things are saved. So there'll be a very significant cost reduction as that facility is decommissioned.
Great. I could honestly say as well, from Acacia's point of view, it's created more opportunities being able to deliver online. We're now seeing interest from outside of the UK, so that's now part of our future plans. It's kind of accelerated our future plans, which I think has been fantastic, and it sounds like that's happening the same for you over at Parenta.
Yeah, very much so. We've just seen much more efficient ways of delivering what we've delivered for years. Again, you need that sort of that opportunity to think things through differently, and our operations, our systems will be profoundly better, or are profoundly better as a result of it.
Fantastic, thank you. And staying with education, Kieran, I'm going to move to you next. Obviously, this is your first live principals event, so welcome. But how did your business in the education vertical respond to COVID situation?
Similar to Alan's, to be fair. In fact, I would just mirror a lot of what Alan just said. What was astounding was the speed at which learners and staff were able to adapt to online delivery, to what had historically predominantly been a face-to-face delivery model. We as owner managers had been pushing staff to adopt technologies like Zoom and GoToMeeting and online webinars to just make the delivery more effective generally pre-COVID. But you know yourself, Victoria, in the care sector and some of those kind of markets, the demographic doesn't necessarily lend itself directly to a lot of tech-heavy solutions. However, come COVID, suddenly within about 14 days, we were back up and running, and everything seemed to be cooking. And we were literally, it can't be that easy. It just can't be that easy. And it wasn't. There were road bumps along the way and things we had to learn and sort of maneuver around. But generally, that switch from sort of real world to online was incredible. So I would say, have we adapted to COVID? You know, it hasn't been easy. You know, I think the only person in business who wouldn't be nervous right now is probably Jeff Bezos. The rest of us are kind of slightly concerned about what's going on. But generally, because the government have made a lot of they've put a lot of things in place to keep businesses going in our sector. You know, they've relaxed a lot of the assessment regulations and things like that, so that we can keep delivering effectively to learners. So it's just been very interesting. One thing's for certain: it will never be the same. It will never be the same. And I think all of us in education would agree that we are never going back to that old approach of the way things were pre-COVID. There's too much, dare I say, too much good stuff come out of the challenges that we've been faced with for us to go back.
Yeah, thanks for that, Kieran. And yeah, I can second that. I think, you know, the education sector, this has brought some real life to it and some new things that will be implemented and will benefit people. And actually the companies in the group are in the further education space, which is where employment, you know, we have the employer links, the business links, and you can tell through the government announcements that that's clearly a priority, particularly in the UK. And I'm sure it will be exactly the same over in Singapore for companies to be, you know, moving to that next stage and accelerated actually some of the reform maybe the education sector was needing. So that's brilliant. Thank you for that, Kieran. That's great. And one of the questions that's come through is, have any of the UK-based partners taken advantage of any of the government support schemes? The answer is yes. Yep. I think we've all aimed to get people back into the business as quickly as possible. All the businesses traded through this time. Nobody closed the doors and shut up shop for any period of time. Okay, fantastic. I'd like to move over to Melissa, if I may. So a warm welcome to Melissa from across the pond, our recent addition to the MBH team. Obviously, in also bringing with you a brand new vertical into the group. So how has your your business responded to COVID, and what's your experience of MBH so far?
So like everybody else, we've had the challenges, but the beauty of being so small and nimble is that you can change with the direction of what was going on. So that's important and flexible. But out of it comes, there's always silver linings when there's some tragedy. And then the fact is that we were able to collaborate, and getting on Zoom, and for our educational sector, we doubled our our revenue from that, where we lost revenue from the real estate traditional transactions while we were on pause. And that has come back tenfold right now. We're busier than ever on the brokerage side. So that revenue will come in next year. But the collaborative spirit of getting education, staying on top of things, sharing some knowledge, and also having multiple marketplaces, being U.S. territory now and tapping into the UK and Australia, has been very beneficial for us and has broadened our mind and our growth at the same time. So I thought that was pretty impressive. During a depressing time, there were some really great outlooks for the future here.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And how are you finding being part of the group, albeit a short time?
I love it. You guys are awesome. No, I just love it. And it's like breaking new ground. And for me, and I think a lot of us felt this, we had a glass ceiling working so many years in our business. And now that we have that freedom of growth, just to go on the tactical side and start working with other businesses, it has been a real blessing. Even though I'm only in it a month, I've seen a lot of growth even, and my mindset change in just a month. So I'm very positive about next year and the changes and the growth we're going to have.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I think one of the special things about the group is when you're around other entrepreneurs, all of a sudden you fit in. They think like you, they behave like you, they've been on the same journey as you, and it really does bring a lot of strength and positivity.
Yeah, I love it. Plus, I'm getting used to all your accents, so that's pretty cool too.
Getting used to yours as well.
I'm New Yorker.
Okay, that's fabulous. Thank you. So moving over to the construction sector, that definitely has seen some disruption through this. If I move to Gary from Deboulay, how have you guys coped, and what's your predictions for the sector going forward?
It has slowed down quite a lot, and obviously there was a 6-month massive gap in the sector we cater to, which is hospitality and leisure, which is the predominant part of where Deboulay is active in. What it has meant in the hotel industry is that actually, whilst there is quiet, they want to do the refurbishment of the rooms. So one of the projects which we were hoping to start later part of the year was brought forward, because they were like, right, we are shut, so let's just get on with it. And they're actually opening now because we delivered that project. There are quite a few clients who are thinking in that perspective. So in the hotel industry, majority of it, the restaurant industry is catching up until there is a lot more of us going out there and showing confidence in being out there. It will take a bit of time. But again, wherever there is less spending, that money is being flown into the other sector. People are spending more time at home. So we are getting a lot of queries of renovations at home, high-end residential renovations, big extensions, home offices, and so there is a lot of tender flowing the other way around. So yes, there is the money sloshing around, and it's just moving into the other direction. And I think that's the same probably with Kevin and Ian as well, but the tenders are coming in. Decisions are taking longer, that's for sure, because people are waiting and watching, which was the same issue with Brexit. But there comes a point where they decide, you know what, we just have to press the button because the capex is allocated. And it has changed. You have to be a bit patient. It's not, the tender process is longer, the negotiations are longer, but having a pedigree of project delivery and the quality which Gilprime, Geisha and Deboulay deliver kind of give us that edge over the other companies, where people have seen us last for 35 years with Gilprime. Geisha is in decades as well, and so is Deboulay. So yeah.
Brilliant, that's great, thank you. And Kevin, I'll move to you. Did you see projects put on hold during COVID? And what's your feeling about things as you go into the next quarter for Gilprime?
Projects. We carried on right the way through COVID. Some of our projects got shut down, and we had to slow down on site. We moved numbers, but we managed to keep projects moving on. But the pipeline for new projects coming in has been fantastic. I mean, we're turning away more tenders than we can cope with at the moment. We just procured another new £2.5 million project. We've got more projects ready to sign up as well. So it was a little bit of a slowdown. Some of the projects took longer to deliver because we had to reduce numbers. We had to work in systematic ways, make sure that everything was COVID safe. But once we got over those problems, solved everything, we was up and running, and things have gone well, and it's looking very, very positive for the future.
Brilliant. That's fabulous to hear. I think we're all really, really pleased, and congratulations on all the business that you've got coming through. So staying with construction, Ian, congratulations on your first tactical acquisition into the group with GS Contracts. How does this partnership add value to Geisha and your future plans?
It offers something that Geisha never done. Geisha was always doing envelope refurbishments and Cat A, which is the structural element. Our clients have always driven that they want more for less, and we've always had to use subcontractors in the past to try to deliver. But they don't have the same ethos as Geisha, and that's what we're built on, the ethos. We deliver what we sell. So looking out and reaching out for companies that we wanted to work with collaboratively, we come across GS, which I think is a diamond, absolutely amazing business, and we're really, really proud to be part of it. And it's expanded our offering to our clients. What we're finding is collaborative working is forcing the issue of a one-stop shop now. They're de-risking most of what they're doing. They're taking out the margins from the subcontractors that main contractors like ourselves use. So it's like a full circle. We're going back to self-delivery. We're going back to working in-house. And it's given us that extra edge over our competitors. And the synergies between the businesses are absolutely amazing. Going forward, it's been probably our best acquisition, only acquisition to date. So it's been amazing.
Thank you. Sounds brilliant. And I'm going to move over to you, Gary, after that shining recommendation from Ian. I now have to call you Diamond. You may have to So, Gary, what attracted you to MBH and your partnership with Geisha? You might just need to take your mute off before you. There you go. You've got it. You've got it all in hand.
I wasn't sure if you were in control or I was.
Well, don't ask me. Don't ask me today.
Obviously met Ian and Lewis last year and understood and can see what they were involved with MBH. They were looking, talking to us seriously about getting involved with GS. And I knew the opportunity of joining MBH was something that was talked about, but probably in more of in the future. I've got clients that are also in PLCs, and there's some horror stories almost run by accountants. So what I realised with MBH is it's not like that at all. The synergies. I think listening to everybody, what the ethos and synergy amongst us all is very much from MBH right through. And it's moving through the businesses. I'm looking forward to do more acquisitions and learn that aspect and process as well. Get involved with other businesses, having established ours and people to carry this on to the future. And I think MBH just
with everybody around listening to you all. It's great to know there's people there, just to get on a call with. We're meeting up regularly, and I think the more we do that, obviously, we'll be more comfortable chatting around. Obviously, a lot of you are used to that already. So yeah, I'm thrilled, excited. It's a new lease of life for me. It's like I've started all over again. It's a real buzz. And the fact you've got the feeling, that strength. There's different comments and things I've heard Ian talk about and mention in the past. I'm thinking, wow, it opens up new opportunities. Just that when you're working at a much smaller thing, your mindset is down here, and this really expands it.
Yeah.
That answer it, sort of.
That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect, Gary. And what you're saying, I think we've all experienced. So I'm sure as you settle into the group, you'll get more of that feeling. But yeah, definitely that unclipping of wings and being able to grow, and that having that energy again, being around like-minded people is huge.
It is. And I think that you do need that little spurring on, don't you? Daniel's thing yesterday, that sort of thing enthralls you and reactivates. It all works all the time.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Moving back to education a little bit, a huge warm welcome to Gabriel from Learning Wings. So Learning Wings has joined us as our first company based over in Singapore. Really great to have you as part of the team. How has Learning Wings adapted to the current situation, and what opportunities are you hoping to explore as you build your company in the group?
Thanks, Vicky. Hi, everybody from way halfway across the world. So COVID was really interesting for me. I will just talk a little bit about our company and then the industry, and then back to Learning Wings again. So in COVID, I'm not going to deny it was quite a bit of a shocker for us, just as well as everybody else, right? So what I was happy about was that we really moved from a survival mode to a growth mode. And we moved from that to just being able to put a company together, getting it right. I'm not going to deny those few months of lockdown here in Singapore were quite brutal. Everything was affected because all our classes were physical, but we were able to very quickly pivot all our classes online. It was a lot of classes going on. We've got close to 200 classes going on a week. And a lot of my teachers, very experienced, 34 years of experience, but their IT really no experience at all. So it was difficult for us to bring everything on board, but we did that. And when we did that, it was like a brand new opening for us, because we did that and there was a good proof of concept. Now, this may seem all right in other parts of the world, but in Singapore, I'll have you know that the tuition scene is very prevalent. Like, every parent would want a physical face-to-face contact. They'll want a teacher walking up and down the aisle and looking over the shoulder of the child. And that was the mindset. It's a common mindset. And so for many years, I was also kind of hesitant about pushing forward to having online classes. But COVID accelerated the whole thing. And this is where the industry comes in. So where I had this thought was my limiting belief, right? But this proved that parents were receptive to having online classes. And when we did that, we showed that we were able to do that, and that allowed us this extra opportunity. And that is to push forward towards having online classes, and in the future, possibly EdTech as well. So what will then happen then is we're going to, the next few months, have all our resources, our foundations ready, so that we're able to then expand to registering and welcoming students directly B2C, direct to the student, to the parents. Because most of the time, we're always working with schools and non-profits, which are all B2B. And then we have an opportunity to go B2C as well, which is really quite limit. That's really, if I could say, just in Singapore and the region. I wouldn't dare say to go all the way to the UK, but at least around my area, which is quite enough. So this is something that we're investing a lot of time, resources, and efforts into. The results and the revenue will come next year, but I think it'll be well worth it. Yeah, that's what I see. Big opportunity growth, no questions.
Fantastic, and lovely to see a new market opening for you with your B2C stuff. So we are now cracking on to the last 5 minutes of our live event. It goes faster than you think. So last but not least, a huge warm welcome to you, David, from Ashley David Taxis, who joins us since the last event we've ran. You gave us a really comprehensive introduction in your slides, which is fabulous. But how is the taxi industry responding, and what opportunities do you hope to explore now being part of the group?
Thank you, Vicky. Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet everyone. Opportunity. Well, first of all, we did dive off a massive cliff edge on March the 23rd, literally from doing sort of 20,000+ bookings a week down to about 5,000 bookings a week. So obviously, very quickly we had to cut those overheads, cut advertising budgets. We did have help from the government here in the UK, so we were able to furlough staff and so on. So the first opportunity that we saw, we were already cloud-based, but we outsourced a lot of our work to a Pakistani call center. We introduced new apps or new features on our app. So we have a consumer app, which is a bit like Uber or Ola. So we introduced very quickly, within 1 week, click and collect. So obviously we saw a huge demand for shopping at supermarkets, but people, because they were shielding at home, weren't able to get to the supermarket, combined with the effect that they couldn't book delivery slots with those supermarkets. So what we did, we developed a bit of technology where they could order click and collect with a supermarket, put in their ID number, put it through our app, and the car would go out and collect their shopping and bring it home. So I think in the first week we did 4,000 of those bookings. So that increased the workload for the drivers. The other problem, of course, was that drivers, no one knew what COVID was. Was it the plague? Were people to drop dead in the street? So a lot of them were scared to go out and meet the general public. So our fleet dropped by half. So to obviously give drivers confidence, we issued them with PPE equipment. So that was masks, screens for the cars, sanitizers. So to give them the confidence that they could stay safe and the customer could stay safe as well. So the next thing we did, obviously home deliveries increased tenfold, people using Amazon. So we launched an app which we named Eat Me. That's Eat Me. So my business partner Ash went out and saw supplies of food, groceries, farm shops, you name it. He went and knocked on their door, and we uploaded all their inventory onto our Eat Me app, launched that to our client base. So that was utilizing the taxi service via GPS to deliver products to people's homes. So that we launched 3 weeks later after the initial lockdown, which has grown ever since. So so from our experience, it was cutting the overheads very quickly and sharply, and to introduce new technology. Now we're sort of 6 months on. Obviously in the UK we still have some restrictions on lockdown, and there are local lockdowns that are taking effect. Leicester remained in lockdown after the UK opened due to the government's whack-a-mole policy. But we're now roughly about 80% to what we were back in March pre-COVID. So we've bounced back, and we can see from our figures that's increasing each week. So we were on a curve like that, going up with bookings. We've gone like that, so we're now coming back. So round about, if we carry on with this momentum, subject to future lockdowns, then we should have increased on March's figures by around about January next year.
Fantastic, and actually really great to hear how the situation has created more collaborative working even in your communities. You know, who'd have thought taxis would be linking up with food suppliers and shops, and you know, pivoting the whole model to be able to do that. So fantastic, and thank you for that. We are on to the last minute, can you believe? So hopefully we've squeezed as much in as we possibly could for everybody that's attended, and hope you've enjoyed it. If you do have any further questions, please do go on the MBH website at mbhcorporation.com and drop an email in there. We will make sure the question goes to the right person and get those answered. So yeah, and hopefully we'll see you again. Our next quarterly event will be in January. So thank you very much for everybody, all the panelists for their time. Thank you everybody to those that have joined us to watch the live event. Stay safe, and next time we see you will be 2021, and we look forward to seeing you. All right then, take care everyone.